There's a thing if you're a Californian. CIF, it's like saying state, all state, but CIF, California Interscholastic Federation, it's big. 3 times all CIF.
So that's kind of the AIA of California.
That's exactly right. But us Californians think that we don't, no other state has anything as cool as us. You know?
CIF. See, I'm learning all the lingo here, Darren.
I grew up out there. To me, that was golden. Never being anywhere close myself to all CIF.
Now that surprises me. I would think you would have been.
Our attitude always is, we're bigger than everyone in California. If you make all CIF, you're special. Swing and a miss. Good run to that again.
Wow, 2 down.
Keeping an eye out for Kelsey Hall because she can be dangerous. 1 for 3 on the opening night. Last night was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. We're not going to share a bunch of 4 for 5s for the series of ASU. The hits just haven't been there. The potential's there.
The potential is there, and we've seen it this season. They just haven't, you know, like so far this is a quiet inning. 2 outs, 2 up, 2 down, and they've been too quiet this weekend.
Well, what a year she is having. The numbers speak for themselves. We showed you them a moment ago. 438 on base percentage, 8 home runs, slugging close to 700. Pretty manageable strikeout total, only 16, 11 walks. She's worked this count in her favor. 3-0 the count.
Kelsey's a lot of fun to talk to. She's a leader. She and Tanya Wendell, they just bring a lot of joy and energy and great examples for the younger girls in this club. And like you said, you know, Kelsey, she's played a lot of ball, most recently at Boise State, and looking to add a spark here.
3-1 the count. I love that word you used, Jody, because it kind of came from your heart. You interacted with these athletes this week. That word joy. We always need joy around athletics, you know, especially when business starts to sneak in, even at the college level. And I think you nailed it. That's the perfect word.
And when you're having a tough series like this one, you know, I imagine that she's part of trying to keep that light. You know, there's accountability. She talked about that. She said, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of accountability from the coaching staff, from the upperclassmen, but they also want to make sure they're having a good time and they're learning each other. It's taken some time to come together with a young group, but this has definitely been a tough first 2 games of the series.
Inside corner, that's strike 3. My goodness, all these hitters brought bats to home plate. We're hardly able to use them. 5 strikeouts for both pitchers in the first inning, including Swain keeping everyone a little bit uncomfortable. 3rd starter strong for Arizona. We had Nyjah a couple of weeks ago on our softball show on Perfect Game Softball with my co-host Sierra Romero. And what a joy, what a treasure she is. Interviewed her last year when she was with Stanford, made a bold choice to move with Jerry Glasgow, who had come from Louisiana. And they had some boosters that put together something special to bring her there. And I think more than anything, what was exciting about it, Jody, is for the sport of softball and for a female athlete. Both of those are, and I've asked my colleagues in this space to give me that perspective on all of them. Like a Sierra Romero have said, that's special when something like that, because everybody wins when something like that happens.
Yeah, it really does, and it really was a leap forward in women's sports.
Yep.
When you look at that type of money being spent on one player. You know, let's face it, there are really good D1 programs that, for example, I mean, in the basketball space, I look at it and you see teams that maybe spend that, or maybe $2 million, but for one player to get that, it just shows you, you know, Texas Tech went out and got their woman.
Yay softball. I mean, that's really what it is. Yay softball, if you want to make it really simple. Jenna sniffing. It's interesting, these visits. So there was a visit, and then all of a sudden there was a striking out of the side. There's a visit on 1-0 to sniffing. Let's see what happens now again with Kenzie Brown. She may have to be just visited every inning.
And they're not shy about the visits.
Tries to hit the inside corner. Jenna, work in progress. I don't want to call her a tinkerer because maybe some people don't see that as a positive. But even before the game, she was working with Amber Freeman. Take a look at what I'm doing here. Look at my placement in the box. Really some mechanical work. As she shoots it down the right field line, and it's foul. I feel like watching Jenna this year, just a freshman, the Hawaiian, that she could roll out of bed on Christmas Day. Now, it'd be beautiful if she did it in Hawaii, but she could roll out of bed on Christmas Day and play third immediately. She's just a born defender. But she wants to bring her hitting to that same level.
Well, yeah, I know you were down there talking to Amber Freeman, and, you know, as a freshman, this is her 34th game that she's starting in, and she's getting a lot of experience.
So it's funny, 306 is really good. A 392 on base, really good. I mean, amongst her teammates, that's average with the craziness that they're putting out there. But for a freshman, really good. But it's no matter what, her glove is going to keep her in that lineup, and that's awesome. 3-2 to Jenna. Pulls her hands in and pops it up. Very shallow left field. Easy chance that time for Wendell.
Yeah, I mean, 306.
Taylor Beal takes up and away. It's always a weekend where you know you speak of Beal in a sure-handed defensive weekend. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts last night. And in the opener, Beal drove in a run, had a bases-loaded walk, also had a sacrifice fly. 2-0 the count.
The hitting's still a work in progress for Taylor Beal. She's been out there every day working hard. We know what a terrific glove she has, just an elite defender at shortstop.
2-0 the count. That one misses outside. Look at her work. There was a time as the hitting is, maybe it's always something she works on because much like Sniffen, born to play the position defensively. It was last year, I believe it was about April. Ask UCLA if she can hit. She had a 2-homer game against the Bruins. Who, by the way, you former Pac-12 fans that might be watching, take a peek over what they're doing in the Big Ten. Yeesh. Big Ten says you can go back to the Pac-12. They've been great, 3-1 the count.
It still is weird. We come on the air and you say Big 12 softball. I'm still trying to get my mind around it, you know, especially when you see teams like Arizona and Arizona State. But
it's been a wonderful transition. Some new teams, some new faces. There's things we miss. You and I have been around it a lot locally, so for a decade plus, as that's outside. That's a sneaky good at bat. You've got a hitter again that is counted upon for her glove, hitting below 300, that spins that lineup with a walk.
Yeah, we saw Beal do that back on Friday night in a key situation. She ended up walking, and, you know, it just shows that she's got some pretty good plate discipline.
Logan Cole's turn. Little topper to the right side. And in time for the out. Played nicely, by the way, by Tiare Ho-Ching, because the runner coming right in front of her path. It was a clean transfer of the lane, and she still didn't panic.
Yeah, Logan Cole in the lineup here today, and Tiare Ho-Ching, everything we've seen from her, she's a terrific athlete, makes it look easy over there at second base.
$4 bill turn. It's Dakota Kennedy, that number 4 she takes outside. Sacramento, California native. Last year, D1 softball, they do such a great job on their website, released their top 100 players, period, end of story, like best players in the country. And she was number 17 amongst all softball players at the Division I level.
And she has really lived up to that hype in this series. 6 hits already.
1-1 the count. Soft one over the outside corner. Runs it to 1-2.
Yeah, the off-speed landing for strikes has been solid for Kenzie Brown. Just trying to keep these hitters off balance.
Skips it in there. Great anticipation in running the bases. Moving to third is Beal. The moment it hit the dirt, she was gone. 3-2 the count. talked about it earlier. It's 50 at-bats for Dakota Kennedy. It's only 5 strikeouts. You got 2 outs, though. You're not worried about that. You're just looking for uncomfortable contact. Looked like she might have got a commitment. She didn't. Boy, that was close. Heck of a pitch. Diving down and away, and Kennedy, heck of an at-bat. Great take.
Yeah, a little finger wag there from Dakota Kennedy, and she visits with Jasmine Perez-Chica over at first base, a graduate assistant who was a player, an alum, and all of a sudden here, again, the Wildcats are just like the word that you used from Amber Freeman, relentless. A couple walks, have runners at first and third now.
The funny thing about that, too, is you can't have every hitter hit the same, or you're not a good program. You're not a winning program. It's not one way to hit because it has to fit each different personality and skill set. And that's the toughest part of having that one blanket relentless approach.
Yeah, they have a lot of pesky lefties as Shockey swings and misses there at the top, and then you get into kind of the bombers with Netz, Stewart, Stoddard, and they're all different, though, Darren. You're right. Different styles, similar styles of hitters, but they all have their own strengths.
Has a way out front. I'll give you an example. This hitter here, Reagan Shockey, you couldn't pay her to walk. Literally, I don't know what her favorite snack is, whatever. You couldn't give her a mountain of it. She never, ever, ever walks. Okay? She's so impactful. Batting right behind her, Kaya Altmaier, 30 walks. She's got 2, this hitter. And yet it all comes together for them.
And we've seen it, Shockey, she just wants to put the ball in play. And sometimes it is just dribbling right in front of the catcher, and she wants to outrun it. And that's what we've seen. In fact, she got on base Friday night just that way, little dribbler down the first base line. Next thing you know, Stewart is driving her home with a 3-run home run. So Shockey just wants to get on, but she's swinging up there.
1-2 the count, the life of a slapper. She does take it the other way, long run, but it's foul. And I understand offensive approach. When you have a true slapper, they do expand the zone more.
Mm-hmm. This is such an art to it. There are only a couple players that don't have a home run in the lineup today. It's Logan Cole at the bottom of the lineup, and Shockey, and power's not her game. It is all about that on-base percentage, which is .419.
The 1-2. Good take, skips away, and a nice job staying with it. Really good play by Swan that time. Hey, to be fair to Reagan, too, let me finish the story. She never strikes out either. Like never. 5 times. Gosh, pitchers just can't stand dealing with hitters like this.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-2. Little roller. Foul ball.
That's the thing is, we've seen it all weekend. They will spoil pitch after pitch. And it's trying to wear Kenzie Brown down. That's kind of what happened on Friday night. And Kenzie, again, she got out of a big jam in that first inning, and here trying to do the same. 2 outs, but Shockey just won't go away.
Two-2, 1 hop, Holche right to the bag. Easy chance, great battle for Brown. So Brown has stranded 5 runners thus far, coming up big with the
in the second.
Unafraid goes after that one high and tight. Came off a year, her senior year was out at Long Beach Poly, in that CIF thing I talked about in California. Hit .595 and did not make an error as a defender. Over 400 her batting average her entire high school career.
She's a great athlete, a flag football player. She enjoyed that. She's got some football players in her family, and she enjoyed that. I imagine, it's not easy being a two-sport athlete when you are this serious about softball.
Change of pace has her way out front. 1-2 the count.
So they're seeing another level of pitching in this series, and I think that they knew coming in it was going to be a tall task. And like I said, Swain has a bit of a deceptive delivery.
exhales just a little bit high. Good take. No panic being shown after missing badly the pitch before.
That's what these young hitters are learning too, patience.
2-2 pitch. Out front on the ground, gloved but foul over there by Jenna. Ten walks, but it took her about 20 games to get her first walk. She went from February 6th all the way to February 23rd. Tons of games and playing in events without walking. She was just going to keep hitting until someone pitched around her. That's kind of common for a freshman. If you're going to throw me strikes and not believe in who I am, I'm getting after it. Then she finally has started to walk at a more regular pace.
I imagine for these pitchers, they're going to go right at you, especially as a freshman, and you want to make them pay.
The Iowa State transfer deals the 2-2, right back at her. She recovers, a flip as she tumbles down. Big reaction. I hope she's okay. Seems like she is.
Appears to be okay.
What a great reaction as Lily Holche hits now. Swain, as we talked about, the graduate, the veteran, has experienced just about everything. And she misses the inside corner. These Arizona pitchers, we've noticed, this is pitcher number 3 on day number 3, are unafraid, Jody, to pitch in when they need to.
Yeah, and Swain's only poor outing, if you look at her, all of her outings against Texas, she gave up 5 hits over 2 innings, 3 earned runs.
With a curveball, so she started it in the same spot in, late dive, a little bit of run, grabbed the inside corner. And we bragged on Kenzie Brown's 18 strikeout game, as we should. Swain saying, I had one in 22. I struck out 17 Northern Iowa hitters. I'm right there with her, so that was a couple of years ago.
That's impressive. 17 strikeouts in a game. I don't care who you're facing. That's hard. It's hard to do.
Same year she had Sac State. She hung 16 Ks on them in a complete game.
Going to gather here in the middle of the at-bat against Holche.
I think Devin instigated this one just a little bit, the fellow pitcher, because she stood in that circle and she's worked, and now they'll follow up from the dugout. I think Devin thinking, let me just make sure she's okay. I've been there. I've taken a comebacker. You could read her lips, not as good as John Boy at doing it, but you could hear her say, are you okay? A couple of times Devin did. And they may actually check on her. Physically, I mean, with a member of the training staff.
That's exactly what's going to happen right now. Well, that's the type of leader Devin is. If she's not in the circle, it hit her arm rather than her midsection.
That's
a little
great.
Deep breath there.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Collective exhale together. That was great. A collective exhale.
Maybe that's just what she needed. And Devin Netz was going to make sure that she didn't continue out there unless she had a reset.
I think you're on it, Jody. They're saying as they look at it, kind of that forearm area on the glove on the left arm. I think you were on it. Well, so she fires it right in on the wrist of the hitter.
Yeah.
As Holche liked it and fouls it back.
An eye for an eye. Well, I guess better that it is the glove hand, but yeah, still, I'm sure it didn't feel good. She assured everyone that was checking on her that she was all right.
Jed Steers came in, third base umpire, with a quick word there for Swain as she drops it in there. She may have separated early from the rubber, drawing that just a quick warning. It was a short, quick conversation, but she went right back to work and drops a changeup in there, 2-2. 3-2, I mean. Goes back to something soft, and it does not find the hole. Got her! Wow, what an effort by Logan Cole.
I thought that
Be close, but I think you can flip this one.
you have to have clear evidence in order to flip the call on the field, so you can see that they're taking a look at it. Headsets on. That angle shows it pretty clearly, I think, but it doesn't matter what I think.
Matters to me, Jody.
Matters to you. Okay.
All your adoring fans, but
Different looks to try to get something going offensively.
all right, here we go.
All right, let's see what we got.
Safe. They overturn it. They did a nice job on that one. That was really, really close. Jody, really close. But I think that's the right call.
Yeah, we both agree that it is, and they got it right. And Holtje's over there, a little celebration. Everybody's excited. Tiana Holtje with the... Everybody's dancing in there because they just want to get something cooking. It's been hard to come by base runners, and now with one out, they've got somebody on base.
Yaya hitting 279. Acuna with a 333 on base. Shoots it toward the left center field alley. It's down for a base hit. Played nicely by Kennedy. In other words, her route was as if to say, there's no way I'm catching this one, but it's not getting by me. Pretty approach for Acuna.
It really was. She just got up there, said, I'm not messing around, going to try to put the bat on the ball, and she did just that. This one.
Sam Swan, slightly closed stance. Takes up and in, 1-0 the count to Swan. Sammy hitting 333, the super sophomore, 371 on base. Slug just shy of 500, so there's some damage there. It's mainly two-baggers, though, mainly doubles. She does have one home run with 9 doubles on the year.
Well, she was the offensive highlight last night with a pair of doubles, but she was lonely out there at second base. Didn't get to come around.
Well, she hit the first one so hard.
She did.
2-0. On the ground toward short. Beal, interference runner there. They'll go ahead and call the out. You'll get the lead runner on that call. That's a big out there. That's the second out of the inning. And so the veteran played that one perfectly. The younger base runner got caught in the web that time. Swan reaches on a fielder's choice. Earning a plate appearance for that one. But an 0 for there.
You usually see a runner just try to avoid the fielder.
Yeah, make him make the play, back off, even if it means you got to come to a stop and let it go by. Make him make the play on you somewhere. As sure-handed as Beal is, and she's about as good as it gets in the country, reigning Pac-12 Player of the Year as they closed their doors, but defensively. But make them make a throw. No matter who they are, make them make a throw, and that's what occurred that time.
We're going to come together and talk about it here. 2 on and 2 out for A.J. Murphy.
Christian Conrad taking time on the international professional ranks. With Athletes Unlimited in the fall of 2020. Boy, was that such a big time with the pandemic and the growth of the sport and pro softball. Players like Sierra Romero committing themselves to pro softball, but also he's a heck of a BP pitcher. U19 national team a couple of years ago as well. So we're learning more about him. He's visited our space a lot, so we're learning more about him.
He fires BP in there relentlessly. It's fun to watch.
1-0 the count. It's AJ's turn. AJ Murphy, what a year she is having, the veteran, the senior.
She
could base about 43% of the time. Sorry, Joe.
Pardon me, Darren. She had, Megan Bartlett calls her the glue.
That's a compliment, huh? High pop-up. Let's see, son, no fun. Devin Nent says no problem. Heck, she made a play like that when she was in the circle as a pitcher last night. So there was a little bit of noise that time for ASU. But like all weekend long, they come up empty with runners on.
Strike. She has been in a huge mess in the first inning with bases loaded, got 3 strikeouts, had some trouble in the second as well, worked around 2 walks. 54 pitches already. The 0-1 pitch is high.
It's funny, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jody. It's not the same. We know that, right? Diamond sport fans to softball to baseball. But there is the body fatigue part of it, the grind that why do I have to throw so many pitches to get them out? So not apples to apples, but it means something.
1-1 is low and outside, and you're right. I mean, Kenzie Brown, she's in great shape. She's well conditioned. But they are just the wildcat at-bats in this series. And Friday night for Kenzie, who lasted 3 1/3, it's been tough. And that's going to run the count to 3-1 on Altmaier. We talked about her walks, right? What is she at, 30? 31 now after the first inning.
There's an art to that, too. There's an art to still being aggressive yet patient. Few can do it. It's easier just to swing all the time.
Great job, KB.
More fun, too, as that one is ripped foul.
Yeah, what was it they called their new piece of technology they have? It's a machine. You can have it design and throw any pitch you want. I think it's called E-Hack. Amber Freeman begged, borrowed, and pleaded. I'm sure she didn't say take it out of my paycheck, but they bought that machine, and it's allowed hitters to get comfortable with who they are against tough pitches.
The 3-2, she just puts it in play. AJ Murphy, she just forces her into a little weak ground ball. And now we get Devin Netz, who was the star last night with a home run in a complete game. I have just loved watching her play this game and her personality out there. Foul back, 1-1 from Brown, who throws pitch number 61.
She's kind of fearless, Jody, and that can get you in trouble sometimes. There's no doubt. You can give up some big homers. She's given up as a pitcher a ton of homers this year. Love you, Devin. Didn't mean that to be an insult. It's just facts. But it's because she's coming at you, and she's hitting the same way. She's coming at you.
1-1 pitch sails high over the head of Sam Swan. That one just got away.
Something about, too, a player that spends the year rehabbing, can't play for the team. If you're around the next year, you're just better, you're deeper.
2-1 pitch is ripped into left field. Devin Netz, she has just been a terror in the batter's box against these ASU pitchers after striking out in the first inning. That makes it her fourth hit, though, of the series.
It's just quick hands. You know, she gets the foot down. She's got size and strength and uses that size and strength there. This is the portion of the order where everyone backs up to the track.
Yeah, Sydney Stewart, we saw it on Friday night. Big, big power. Now she's up there with Netz on first base. Brown has to collect herself. And the 1-0 pitch. Low and inside to Stewart. It's a screwball that heads toward the back foot of Stewart. And Brown, we're seeing, you know, she is a strike thrower, but she's not getting ahead of hitters in this inning.
You got me thinking, Jody. I want to take a look at that tally because I think she's having to fight herself a little bit. She's got a lot of base runners out there. That's been a big part of it. Sydney Stewart, for you taller hitters out there, you taller softball players, watch her because you'll learn a lot.
Two-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Still pitching inside, and that's where you want to pitch Stewart. You don't want to allow her to get her arm stretched out. Off speed in there for a strike, so it's 2-2 now, working her way back into this at-bat against Stewart. A dangerous hitter.
A little bit of screwball action after having one take a left turn. She has one take a right turn, and again, she's pitching now from the hole, but she's pitching. she did, and again, it's a clinic. She just, an excellent hitter. She just put a clinic on her, took Sydney Stewart to school.
That rise ball is so, so good. And now it's Miranda Stoddard with big power, soft stuff for strike one. Imagine as a pitcher, Darren, it is hard to facing a lineup like this. You have got to mix it up.
That means everything's got to be firing on all cylinders to do that.
Oh, there's strike two, swinging from Stoddard, who has 10 homers on the season, batting .411. Her slugging percentage over 1,000, 11 walks on the season. The 0-2 pitch from Brown. And that's sails high.
We got a bit of a storyline developing if, in fact, she gets Stoddard. The heart of the order, the damage portion, that's Stewart, Stoddard combined for right at 30 home runs. She struck him out 4 times. 4 times. And we're just getting going.
Hard hit to A.J. Murphy, who puts the glove on the bag. And again, Kenzie Brown works out of a little bit of trouble. And this game remains scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kenzie Brown looking to stave off a sweep.
They're going to Oklahoma City. That's a major building block with a team this young.
It really is, and it'll pay off in the future as these young ladies develop. Boy, Swain starting off with fastball that Davis swung through, and then the off speed right there, and quickly it's 0-2. TK Davis batting .270 on the season. That's high for ball one.
Both these pitchers so confident, changing the line of sight, changing speeds. And this is what a pitching matchup of elite D1 pitchers looks like today.
Again, high, and yes, Swain matching. You know, Swain comes into this game, just her 3rd start of the season, and matching up with Kenzie Brown, who's been dominant until her start on Friday. Had trouble with this Wildcat offense. Davis shows bunt, and that is ball 3, so it's a full count here. Good job by Davis getting out of the 0-2 hole. And that is in there for strike 3. Davis goes down on strikes and 1 out.
Onto it, it was firm, but again, being able to manipulate the softball, it's everything.
And I love the swing stomp to celebrate the strikeout. Now it's Tanya Wendell who will lead things off. She's out there in left field today. She had 3 hits, 3 for 3 on Friday night, quieter last night. .383 on the season, couple homers. A junior from Peoria, went to Cactus High, then Utah Tech, then back here as a Sun Devil. She talked about when she was little coming to camps out here. And so it's a dream to play for the Sun Devils. And 2-0 count. That one is hit into right center, and Shockey will get it in, but Tanya Wendell picking up where she left off on Friday after being hitless last night, trying to get...
Hopper to first, she didn't. She let it travel, trusted her hands.
And now it's Ashley Mejia. And that ball is crushed to right field. It's gonna go. Home run, Ashley Mejia. Her 8th of the season. It's a 2-run shot. And for the first time, the Devils have the lead in this series. They are on the board here, 2-0, I should say, in the 3rd inning.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered. It's one thing to hit a home run.
That's will meet and try to collect themselves here. We've got a new pitcher coming in, and it is Miranda Stoddard when we come back. More biddies in there with a double. That ball looked like it might go foul, Darren, but Kelsey hits it hard.
Time. And they'll let the Arizona and Caitlin Lowe, they'll let them know their decision. They're going to take a look at this one.
Okay, they're going to review it.
This is going to be a crazy tough overturn for my money. This is, again, naked eye, it looked like it was a fair ball.
I agree. It did look, I mean, it was hit hard, and I don't doubt why Caitlin Lowe is having them take a look at this, because, you know, Miranda Stoddard comes into this game. They want to try to regain control of this one. And Kelsey Hall putting a big swing on it, hitting it hard down the line. Now you can see right away as Jenna Sniffen says it's foul, which is not surprising.
Of course she's selling that.
Yeah, she's selling that. There it is. It just looks like it goes right over the bag and then crosses over.
Right, and you know this, you casual viewers at home, and if you don't, it's not where it hits the dirt past the bag. That's irrelevant. And even if, I mean, it's close to hitting the line past, it's really close to hitting the line past the bag, but it's where does it go over the bag? And I'm going to tell you, they keep looking at this one, and I think Cameron Ellison did have a good look at it.
Yeah, when it's in the air. When it's in the air, it's harder to tell, obviously, but oh, there's a better look as we slow it down.
Yeah, past the bag. I mean, if there's any thought that it hit the line past the bag, then we need to go ahead and wrap up the cables, send it back, and call it a double. I don't think this
we'll
gets
see
overturned.
what happens. Yeah, it's going to be tough to overturn this.
Yep.
And it is. It's a double.
I think they got it right. Live action, I think they got it right. It was an interesting look because Steers had to kind of get out of the way, so he didn't make a call. It was his home plate umpire that made the clear call. And kudos to Cameron Ellison. Eyes on it. He got it right.
It is not an easy job out there in the moment, but
not with a three-person crew. It's not. I agree.
Cameron Ellison, and you pointed that out right away. And now it's Tiara Ho-Ching up there with Hall on second and Stoddard with ball one. We've talked about what a terrific freshman Ho-Ching is. Let's see if she can. She hasn't come up with many runners on base in this series, but now she gets an opportunity.
Well, no one really has, and when they've had runners on, the hits just haven't been there.
She's been in the leadoff spot quite a bit, but interchangeable there with Tanya Wendell. And that ball goes toward left field and off the wall. That's going to bring Hall in to score. And at second, Tiara Ho-Ching is in there with a double. She's safe. And all of a sudden, this crowd at Farrington has come alive. It's 3-0 Sun Devils.
Somebody, and I don't know who, threw a stick of dynamite in the Sun Devil for Swain. That was a pretty quick move. Again, you're asking now Stoddard to go the rest of the way, someone who is an excellent pitcher, but they saw her the entire night. We may see multiple changes here early. We'll see how this comes together.
Yeah, it is interesting because you had Nets, of course, go complete game last night, and they're looking over to the bullpen where it looks like it is going to be an even quicker hook on Miranda Stoddard. So when we return, it looks like Ryan Maddox is going to be in the circle for the Wildcats, and the Devils putting some big-time pressure on Arizona.
Outing. San Diego State 2 2/3, 1 hit. Central Florida 5 innings in that one, just 1 run and a couple of strikeouts. She kind of came in in a role where they needed her to sweep up and give some good innings, and she did. And Central Florida's a really, really good team. So if you're looking for a comp, look back to the 9th of March. She's taken on some responsibility, though, this year, if you look at her game logs.
And she faces Lily Holtje. That's in there for strike one.
Come on. Plus, we get to look at lefties, a different look, something
right.
fun to break down. I'm excited.
She's the 2023 California Gatorade Player of the Year. And that one is way inside.
Holtje's back leg, that right knee, she did everything she could to take it off her kneecap. She leaned that knee, and that was a beautiful curveball. A lot of break to it. You can see that's a weapon for the left-hander.
And that one close, but misses. That one's just a little bit outside from Maddox, who's from Fresno, California. Did not play her freshman year due to injury. And the count runs to 3-1. Maddox misses outside there.
I think you folks understand what it means, right, to be a Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of a state like California. It's quite a high honor.
And that one is high in the sky, but playable for Nets, who makes the catch over there in foul territory, in fact, near the dugout. And so Ryan Maddox comes in and gets an out.
It's kind of charming watching Nets come in. You got the senior, you've got the redshirt freshman, you got someone who's a little bit taller in stature, comes over and almost serves as a lieutenant, an assistant coach, because Nets has played forever. She's a woman in this game. You've got a much younger pitcher. That was a cool moment right there between the two of them.
Yeah. Charming, you said. That is not really the word that we usually use to describe Devin, just because she is so, like you like say, in your face.
I thought the exchange was charming.
Yeah, no, I know.
Devin, I don't want to, do that to you.
She's quickly becoming one of my favorite players.
I couldn't believe she put up with all those hats and helmets being put on her during her interview last night. I'm going to say she's a good sport, and I'm going to say that's dangerous business for a young player to do that to a veteran.
Ryan Maddox is out there after getting Holtje to pop out, and now it's Yaya Acuna, and that's ball one. Lefty-lefty matchup here. And that is ripped to Nets, who secures the out. She does it all.
I expect this every time, but we do expect it.
And she takes on, to lead off this inning, it's the freshman Jenna Sniffen. Fouled back. Sniffen popped out to left field in the second inning. And Kenzie Brown, again, the pitch count, it's been up there. She's at 73 right now, but nothing she can't handle. And she's just had some adversity in the early innings. And now she finally has a lead. And the 1-1 to Sniffen. And that misses high.
Winner in high school at Maryknoll High School in Kapolei in Hawaii. State championship at Maryknoll. This is another Gatorade Player of the Year, but by the way, she did it much younger as a sophomore.
That's impressive. And the 2-1, the off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, evens the count at 2. The Wildcats 3 hits so far, but 2 walks in that last inning. And that one looked like it was coming in, almost hit Sniffen, but that one is going to run the count to 3-2.
We love Hawaiian softballers if we love the sport, right? Jocelyn Owl, Benny Agbayani's 2 daughters who dominated at BYU, one of them, Alea Agbayani. Such great softball being played on the islands.
3-2 pitch, and Sniffen swings and misses. Kenzie Brown with an out to start this 4th inning. And now it's Taylor Beal who looks at ball 1.
And again, needs to be pointed out, Jenna has struck out now just 5 times all year. That's a freshman, so you're going to strike out. That's part of the sport. But Jenna doesn't very much. That speaks to Kenzie.
And that ball low and outside, ball 2. Again, I feel like Kenzie, she's been working to batters and throwing a couple balls to start these at-bats, but then works her way right back into it. That's just how good she is. And Beal hits that one to the first baseman, Holtje, who makes an easy play over there to get on the base. And too quick.
She was on it, though. Hit it hard and a really smooth play by Holtje.
And now Logan Cole, who grounded out to second base in the second inning. Her job to try to keep this inning alive and not go down quietly here in the 4th. Brown misses outside, 1-1 the count.
Nothing more impactful than to feel like you gave everyone in the crowd an espresso. You got them fired up. They're in the game. Your hitters are suddenly feeling confident when they weren't, and you get your team right back in the dugout. That's so huge if she can do that.
1-1 and a slow roller. Ho Ching over to Holtje. That's exactly what she did, Darren. 3 quick outs. Kenzie Brown gets the doubles back in the dugout. Can their offense continue to put up some numbers? We'll find out when we return. Sam Swan, the catcher.
I'm going to say a little bit beyond that, besides the obvious. To come back beyond a grand slam would be a little bit tougher. Within that 3 or 4 is doable for this Arizona team. Very, very doable for a team that has more hits than anyone in the nation.
Yeah, we're going to find out just how resilient this group is. They haven't had to be in the first 2 games, but we know that they are capable of it. Another miss there to Swan, and it's 2-1. Samantha Swan, sophomore, catcher, batting .333. That misses as well, and that's going to be a 3-1 count now to Swan, who reached on the fielder's choice in the second inning. The 3-1 pitch that swung through for Swan.
Earlier this year, Arizona had a game against Michigan State in which they trailed 6-1, and at one point trailed 9-8. Eventually, they were victorious 10-9. They've done it. They've been down. They can absolutely do it.
And Swan puts a swing on it. That's going to drop in front of Altmaier. And so the leadoff hitter here in the 4th inning, Sam Swan, gets on base.
And then there are some days where you're an offense that feels like you've had such towards ASU a bit this afternoon.
And we've called the Wildcat offense pesky, and now we're seeing a little of that from the Sun Devils. A.J. Murphy puts the bunt down. Maddox throws over to first base and gets the out there. Swan moves to second.
Michigan State. Pretty bunt, by the way, well defensed. That's why you play for just 1 more run, because it kind of feels like 2.
And now it's TK Davis. TK struck out in the 3rd. Maddox 2-0 to start this at bat. And you're right, the Sun Devils, they seem more confident. They've just been able to disrupt the Wildcats. To this point, before today, the pitching was in control, and now they've got the 3rd pitcher of the game in with Maddox. That one's fouled back.
I love what Caitlin said, though. I mean, for those of you that are like us, I mean, armchair, she's not going to play any of her cards before the game. That's how she coaches. So we were unaware of this, but making it clear that she was in the plans. Like, we were going to empty our bucket and use our pitchers, and that's who we are right now. And so they planned on using her.
Well, like you said, coming on the air is a bit of a flex. 3 games, the 3rd pitcher, just showing, okay, we've got 3 starters. And Swain had some success. That one from TK Davis is ripped but foul into left field. Maddox, again, a redshirt freshman, put into a big spot here, coming in that third inning, but getting the outs that she needed to get, getting Holtje and Acuna. And that is a strikeout for Maddox. 2 outs as Davis goes down on strike. And now the lineup turns over. It's the junior Tanya Wendell fouling back the first offering from Maddox. Wendell singled in that third inning and came around on the Mejia home run. Maddox fires, she gets a piece of that one, does Wendell, and it goes back to the netting.
So nice little spot in the order to have a lefty out there, and that's not a ton. There's only 3 left-handed batters in this lineup, but right here you've got Wendell, you've got Mejia. Your goal is to sit this batter down and to deal with another lefty to lead off the next inning.
Off-speed pitch lands in front of the plate for ball 1. And Stewart wanted the call, but that is a ball, evening the count at 2-2 with 2 outs here. And Wendell, who's been, I would say, their most consistent hitter. And that one is hit to left, but Dakota Kennedy is there to secure the out, and Ryan Maddox puts up a 0 for the Wildcats. Stay with us as we'll go to the top of the 5th. Now she faces the leadoff hitter, Dakota Kennedy, who's been on twice already, singled in the first, walked in the second. She has been a thorn in the side all weekend long, and a great job in the field as well. The 1-0 pitch goes foul. Wendell gives chase, but yeah, Dakota Kennedy came in with the on-base percentage of .590 and a batting average of .510. And you talked about she's just a true talent before coming to U of A, prized recruit. Brown 1-1 to Kennedy, and the off-speed pitch misses outside.
Well, there's one way to gauge what you're talking about if you're strictly looking at the defense. You can put in just one small basket the amount of hitters that draw an infield in like a slapper on the corner where you see TK Davis over there, yet hits double-digit homers in a season. What do you do?
She's so versatile. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Kennedy looks at it. It's 2-2.
First 2 years in the Pac-12 as it existed back then, all Pac-12. Second year playing college baseball was an All-American. The resume is just packed.
Shows bunt, does Kennedy, and then swings. It's grounded right back to Brown. Easy throw over to Holtje. It's Reagan Shockey. Puts it in play, but foul. Shockey singled in the first and grounded out to first base in that second inning. And Kennedy and Shockey and Altmaier, I mean, just pesky hitters at the top of this lineup. And like you said, Darren, it's been, Brown's been able to, dare I say, bear down and get the power hitters out, but it's the top of the lineup that has created a lot of noise during the series. That ball misses. A screwball that was in the dirt. 91 pitches now for Brown here in the 5th. That one low and outside as well to Shockey.
So this team, and this won't surprise you, meaning the team in blue, Arizona, they haven't been shut out this year. Heck, they haven't lost much this year, let alone being shut out. They came into this series averaging 8.3 runs per game. Nowhere near a shutout, though. Nothing.
It's hard to keep them down. Shockey, though, grounds it over to Holtje at first. And 2 outs for Brown here in the 5th.
So again, that's not electric velocity. She's not looking for a strikeout. A little bit of a twist on almost a batting practice pitch, a changeup, if you will. That's a comfortable, confident pitcher. And she had the hitter way out front, gave up her entire approach, and rolled it off to the right side. I mean, Shockey's going to make contact. You just want bad contact.
And the first pitch to Altmaier is a good one. It's low and swing and a miss for strike one. And yeah, if you're Kenzie Brown, you're just trying to get outs right now. We know she is a strikeout pitcher. She's also trying to preserve herself at 94 pitches. And Altmaier puts that one into play, but Ho Ching flips it over to Holtje. As the top of the fifth is complete, Kenzie. It sure does. She looks like a confident hitter to me, even as a freshman. And now it's Ryan Maddox, the redshirt freshman, out there. That's strike one. Another lefty-lefty matchup, as we see at the top of the lineup. Wendell made the last out. She's a left-hander. Mejia left-handed here. And just a little tapper goes foul.
Shared with me last year when I asked what her greatest challenge is, and I'm going to share her words. One of the biggest challenges I've had is to face a battle with mental health. There was a time in my life I felt it was too hard to be here or face the hard things in life. I expressed these feelings with friends and families and got so much support. There's further. She went on to say, but more importantly, I prayed about everything, and God promised me the very things that I have now. I'm grateful for the support I have. Without them, I would still be battling with myself. Because of my experiences, I'll be majoring in psychology to help athletes grow through this.
And that is wonderful that through her own struggles, she now has a desire to help other people, but also what a great support system she has.
Yeah, leans on her faith, leans on her family. You know, it's young failing, and failing, you know, your own mind, your mind betraying yourself.
2-2 pitch from Maddox is fouled back from Mejia.
Not all personality types crave competition, and that's okay. So how do you, if you're passionate about the sport, how do you kind of turn that up a notch and not have self-doubt?
It's so tough, especially when you're young, like so many of these women are. Ball three, full count now. Maddox has come in and done a nice job after Miranda Stoddard did not last long coming in relief today. Pitch from Maddox, and that is going to go foul over the dugout into the hands of a fan who gets an ovation.
Mejia's got a fun family tree. Paul and Johnette, her parents, both parents played lots of sports. Dad played football all league. Mom played volleyball, softball, and basketball. Mom's in the Norco High School Hall of Fame.
And that ball hit to the shortstop, Beal, and over to nets for the out. So it's in her blood, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she goes on to share, she shared with me, I'm the fourth generation to play high school sports in the city of Corona, California.
Wow. A lot of good athletes in Corona, California.
Well done getting her out of that state, by the way. I mean, if you really think about her ties to that state and the Inland Empire, well done by the ASU program getting her here. That's got to be a challenging sell.
Same with Ho Ching.
Agreed.
Right? A lot of Long Beach Poly. And now it's Kelsey Hall. And that's ball one to Hall, who had a double in the last inning. So right after Mejia hit that homer, Hall kept it going. That's what we've been looking for, Darren, just some kind of momentum from the Sun Devils, and Hall provided that. Fouled back. And we talked about the power that she can provide, but she'd been quiet until she hit that double in the third inning.
Yeah, I agree, Jody. There are times, and you've covered thousands of Major League games in your role with the Diamondbacks, but there are times when a home run can kind of kill a rally. Instead, thanks to Hall and Ho Ching, they started a rally. It's not always the case. Sometimes it's two and that's it. No, ever since that two-run homer, nothing's happened. That's how big Hall and Ho Ching turned out to be, because for me, that third run feels like everything.
Especially with Brown pitching, but the Devils would like to tack on. That ball is going to be caught in center field. Reagan Shockey plays an excellent center field out there. And Ho Ching puts it in play. Pitch number one. Beal with the quick throw over there and gets the out as the Sun Devils go down 1, 2, 3 here in the 5th. This is a tough matchup. Devin Netz, who's done a little bit of everything in this series, a complete game herself, thrown in the circle last night, a home run last night as well. She's got 10 on the season. Singled last time she was up in the 3rd inning. The 0-1 to Netz, and that's, I should say the 1-0, and that's ball 2. Now, I was wondering, just with Kenzie Brown being at 97 pitches right now, that her season high is 131, so she's familiar with throwing up and over 100 pitches. That was against BYU in her 18 strikeout game. The 2-0 is low, and that is going to be ball 3. And Devin Netz, a patient hitter, a veteran hitter.
Pretty good pitch. It was just below the knees. They're inquiring from the third base dugout. Don't blame them, but it was just below the knees. Credit to Netz for being so patient.
And that's a 4-pitch walk to Devin Netz. I imagine she would have had the green light to swing there if it was a good pitch to hit, but she's going to just take her walk, and maybe by design. I mean, last time she hit it, it was a laser